Namaskar students. Today we will be doing the necklace. The necklace by Guy D. Maupassant is from the Footprints Without Feet, chapter 7. We have a supplementary reader. And how do we pronounce this author? During my childhood, I used to say Guy D. Maupassant. No, it is Guy D. Maupassant. That way it is pronounced as Guy D. Maupassant. It's a French name. We pronounce it in that sense. About the author, Guy G. Maupassant or Guy de Maupassant, born 5th August 1850, expired 6th July 1893. He was a French writer. He is remembered as the master of the short story form, and he is the representative of the naturalist school of writers. And what does this naturalist school of writers they depict? They depict the human lives, their destinies, and the social forces, and basically it is often in the pessimistic terms. Optimistic when we are very hopeful, pessimistic in the you say not so hopeful, negative terms. And he has to his credit some 300 short stories, 6 novels. Introduction to the chapter. What is the necklace all about? The story Necklace revolves around a selfish lady. Her name is Matilda Loisel. She is unsatisfied with her life as she wants a rich husband. But because she belongs to a family of clerks and her family is unable to give away dowry, she is married to a clerk. She, she hails from a clerk family and she is married to a clerk. One day, both this husband and wife they are invited to a party at some minister's house, but Matilda she does not have good clothes and jewels to wear at such a party. It's a minister's party. So her husband suggests her to buy a dress, and when she says she doesn't have jewelry, then he suggests ask one of your old friends, Madame Forestier, for the jewelry. She then goes to Madame Forestier, borrows a necklace from her that friend, and then she goes to the party. Now what happens next? This becomes a lesson for this unhappy lady who is not so very happy about it. Summary of the chapter. We'll have a quick brief summary. Matilda, she was pretty, she was a young lady, she was born in the family of clerks, she was married to a petty clerk. Petty means very small, right? Petty clerk, and he works in the office of the Board of Education. And she was having no dowry to marry a rich man, so she has been married to a clerk. She was simple but quite unhappy, and because of this she suffered incessantly. Incessantly means continuously, without any break. One after the another she got sufferings, and she felt that she was born for all the delicacies, all the luxuries in life, but she suffered from poverty. And the kind of place where she was living, shabby walls, worn out chairs, okay, they felt like she felt like she was being tortured, she was being angered by that. Then she used to think of the beautiful nice food she used to have, marvelous dishes now, but she didn't have anything. She didn't have frocks, she didn't have jewels. Then one evening her husband returned home with an invitation for a party at the minister's residence, and he thought that she'll be happy, but instead of being happy she was very sad, she was very unhappy. And why was she unhappy? Because she was not having the perfect dress for the occasion. You are going to a minister's house for a party and you don't have a perfect dress. Then what happens? She finally has a beautiful dress. Her husband, he had some money with him, some 400 francs, and he said that you take those 400 francs and buy a dress for yourself. But even then she was anxious because she has got a dress, but she doesn't have jewels to adorn herself. She wanted some jewels. So she went to her friend Madame Forestier and brought a superb necklace of diamonds, beautiful diamond necklace she bought from her. The day of the ball arrived. Ball means the party. She was a great success. She was the prettiest of all. She was elegant, gracious, smiling, full of joys. She danced with enthusiasm and intoxicated with pleasure. She was so happy, on top of the world, cloud nine feeling. After returning from the party to her home, when she removed the wraps from her shoulders, wraps is something which you put, just like we put our shawls, so they have the wraps. The rich people, they put wraps of fur, but she didn't have that kind of wrap, so she had a very ordinary wrap. So when she removes from the shoulders, okay, and she wanted to have a look in the mirror, in the glass. Oh, how beautiful I look. She wanted to have that final look. And when she saw, she shocked. Suddenly she uttered a cry. Her necklace was not around her neck. Then what happened? They searched for the necklace everywhere. We came this way, they searched on that way. Have you noticed the cab number, taxi number? No, we don't have it. But whatever else they could do it, they went, returned the complaint. Everywhere they searched, in the pocket, in the clock. Clock is that overcoat, gown kind of thing, no, which you put on top. So that clock and everything they did, but they did not, they did not find it. Then, after losing all hopes after a week, this Mr. Loisel. When we say Mr., in the French word is Monsieur. So Monsieur Loisel, and for the lady we call it Mademoiselle or Madame. Okay, so Loisel found a chaplet of diamonds in a shop. Chaplet of diamonds is a necklace. Chaplet is a necklace. It was exactly just like the lost necklace. They bought it for 36,000 francs. Okay, and what they had? They had only 18,000 in their pocket, and then the rest, what they had to do? They had to borrow. They handed the necklace to Madame Forestier, but she did not open it. She was afraid. If she sees this necklace, oh, this is not my necklace. But nothing of that sort happened. She did not have a look only. She just kept it like that. And the Loisels, now what they did? They borrowed 18,000 francs. How do they repay it? What they have to do? Now they have to do something. So what they started doing? They started doing the cost cutting. They sent away the maid. They lived in a rented room in an attic. They led quite very humble, poor life for a few years. And for almost 10 years they did this, and thus they could repay the loan. Now what happens after the 10 years when the loan has been repaid? One day Mrs. Loisel, she happened to meet the Madame Forestier while they were taking a walk. Madame Forestier, when she saw, oh, is it you? She was very shocked, surprised. Then what happens? She told that it is all because of you, Madame Loisel. Then she said, why? Why because of me? Then she reveals everything, the whole story. Now because they have repaid, they have done everything. So she is very confident. So she tells it is this thing happened. Then she reveals that her necklace, that was a false necklace, and it was not even worth 500 francs, almost 500 francs, not more than 500 francs. So that is how. Coming to the theme, the first part of the story, it deals with the theme, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So that is the main theme. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. That means the fate, the destiny, it plays such a vital, such a significant role in our lives that those who try to spend beyond their means, they land up in deep trouble. It is said, no, cut your coat according to your cloth, right? In Hindi also we have, a saying, te te pav pasariye jeti lambi saur. So they say that if you try to spend more than what you earn, you will definitely land up in deep trouble. Unrealistic aspirations, they bring frustration, disappointment, discontentment. The later half of the story, it brings out, once they have suffered, so the later half, it brings out how adversity shapes an individual into a stronger, more mature human beings. We face this, everybody in our lives, we face that same thing. Whenever it is like adverse conditions, it brings out the best in us. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. The choice to uphold her dignity motivates Matilda to repay the debt and live a hard life. Now she says like, okay, we are under 18,000 francs debt, no issues. I would live my life with dignity, and I would repay it as soon as possible. So this motivates her. But this experience makes, what this experience makes her, this experience make her develop a sense of pride about her abilities and enhances her self-esteem. Self-esteem is something which you have in yourself, your pride, self-pride. So this develops a sense of pride, okay, self-esteem in her. The message, the story conveys the message of contentment. Contentment, we should be satisfied with what we have. It is advisable to count one's blessings instead of yearning for false glory. Unreasonable desires can prove to be disastrous, as it did in the case of the Loisels. See, you have something, just thank God that you have it. Count your blessings, whatever you have. You may have two pair of dresses, fine. You are much better than those who never have two pairs in their life. So instead of yearning for the false glory, just count your blessings. And if you have desires which are unreasonable, then they can be very disastrous for you. This happened in the case of Madame Loisel. Matilda Loisel. Matilda had enough to live with dignity. She was not having like crying for things, and she was not so poor that she did not have. But what happens is she did not have that contentment. She had that desire for excesses, extravagance. Being extravagant means you are going beyond your means. You don't own that much, but you are trying to show off. So that desire for the excess, extravagance, it deprived her even of the little she had, little things she had, it deprived her of that. Therefore, her story gives us a message. And what is that message? That one should live within one's means. How much you earn, spend according to that only. Don't go beyond the means. That is the message. Whenever there is a story, it has a title. So how do you justify that the title of the story is right? The necklace. The story revolves around the necklace that brought a drastic turning point in Loisel's life. It changed their life completely, drastically. Matilda's urge to look beautiful made her borrow the necklace from her friend. Its loss robbed her and her husband of their peace of mind. When you lose something valuable, it does not belong to you. You have taken it from somebody, then it definitely takes your peace of mind. The loss of the necklace not only helped Matilda become a more sensible person, but it also made her stronger and more patient. Right? The necklace is the center of action in the end. Also, when Madame Forestier, she reveals to Matilda that her necklace was a fake one, a necklace that was supposed to give Matilda immense happiness. It proved to be a source of immense suffering for her. Supposed to give happiness, gave her suffering. Immense. Right? Immense happiness, it turned out to be immense suffering. Hence, the necklace is the central point of the story, and it is an apt title. Everything happens because of that necklace. So, we can say that it is a very suitable, it is a very apt title for it. The characters, will go through it. Matilda Loisel, pretty as a picture. Matilda is very graceful. She is very suitable for an affluent household, but she is born into the family of clerks. She sulks at her fate. She cries that my fate is so bad. Then she is married to a petty clerk, Monsieur Loisel. He works in the Board of Education and has very modest earnings. He is unable to fulfill the rich dreams of his wife. Then Matilda, who is indulging in self-pity, she feels that life has been very unkind to her and circumstances have cheated her of what she deserves. She deserves delicacies, luxuries, but she is being robbed. She is simple but is unhappy because she is dissatisfied with what life has offered her. This complaining nature, okay, controls all her actions. She constantly grumbles. Grumbles about what? About her poverty. And she craves for riches, luxury, comfort, attention. She wants all those things in life, right? But ultimately, what happens is her dissatisfaction and self pity makes her and her husband's life miserable. Their life is made miserable. However, she has some good traits too that get revealed during adverse circumstances. It is not all so bad. If somebody has some bad habits or some bad vices, he had virtues also. So she also has something good in her, and that is revealed when adverse conditions circumstances come. Once humbled and humiliated, Matilda bears her loss and misery heroically. She is not the one to be get bogged down. She is being very heroic even in her misery. Though unused to daily chores, okay, earlier we used to pronounce it as chores, now it is chores. So though unused to daily chores, she takes upon herself all the drudgery. The drudgery is the hard work without complaining. Okay, let the hard work comes. I am not going to complain. If this thing has happened because of me, I am ready to take an accountability of it. Okay, she courageously bears the responsibility of helping her husband pay off the debt, and therefore tries her level best to make her contribution. She says, okay, my husband is doing his bit, I will do my bit. I will try to do my sort of work. I will contribute. Okay. Her quality of self-respect eventually makes her a very strong and tenacious woman. She comes out to be very strong, very tenacious, very strong woman in the end. Right. Now the characters, there are hardly few characters, three characters, main characters. So comes to Monsieur Loisel. Mr. Loisel now, a humble clerk, he is the board of education. He is a very contented person, quite happy, though he is ordinary middle class man. He does not believe in the show off, putting up appearances. He enjoys the simple food. He has no shame in accepting his low position. He is a petty clerk, no, lowly ranked clerk. So he has no shame in that, and he has meager means, like he is not earning much, but he doesn't shy from that. He accepts it with full humility. He is at peace with himself. Somebody who is contented in life, he has that inner peace, right? His surroundings and life. He has simple desires and joys which he can afford to have within his limited resources, and he is thankful for all the little graces, even the good pot pie. Okay, pot pie is something which you have, mish, it's a dish, meat dish actually, pot pie, right? So means those people are ordinary people, the middle class people, they have that pot pie, so he enjoys that also, right? He does not want, he does not crave for five-star food. He is very happy with whatever he has. He is a loving, caring and sacrificing husband. He adores his wife very much. He adores her. Oh, she is beautiful, she is pretty, she is good, she is simple. And what he does is he gives up his desire to own a gun so that she may buy a new party dress. When she says, no, it will take 400 francs, then he says, okay. He had collected that 400 francs and he wanted to, go on shooting the larks, the songbirds, American songbirds, they are the larks. He wanted to shoot them. But when he comes to know that the wife needs 400 francs, so he gives up his dreams and he sacrifices for her. He even brings home for her a rare invitation. Usually from the ministers, they give to only high-fi VIP people, but from there he has got an invitation that there is a ball at the minister's house, we have a party, just to please her. He is very practical, he is very wise. He cuts his coat according to his cloth. He knows how to live within the means, and he suggests his wife when she is unable to do what to do, the jewelry, I don't have it. So he suggests, why don't you go to your friend and borrow? If you don't have, wear for the party. He's very understanding, and he sets his priorities right. When the necklace is lost, he frantically searches for it without holding Matilda's vanity, immaturity, negligence. Okay, he knows that she has been negligent. Because of her, we have lost it. But he does not play that blame game. What he does is, straightway he rushes. Okay, let me search this way. We went this way. He searches everywhere for that. He's a gentleman. He's a good human being. Loisel, he silently suffers for 10 years without complaining even once. He had saved 18,000 francs. He gave away those 18,000 francs. 18,000 less, 36,000 francs it was. So 18,000 less. He says, no problem, borrow and pay it first. And then I'm ready to suffer. And he suffers for 10 years. And it is none of his mistake. And Mr. Loisel, what? He comes out to be an ideal man who contributes wholeheartedly to his married life. Next is Madame Forestier. Madame Forestier was a comfortably rich lady, but wealth had not made her arrogant. She was wealthy, but she was not arrogant. She was very large-hearted, and she had retained her relationship with her school friend Matilda. She was a school friend, and even though she was rich, she did not, have that kind of feelings. She maintained that relationship, even though Matilda, a school friend, is married to a clerk. She still maintains the relationship. The gap in their social and financial status never once made her feel the need to sever her friendship with Matilda. Sever is to break the relationship. No, will not break the relationship. So much so that she opened a jewelry box. When Matilda goes, no, she opens out all the jewelry bags. Take whatever you feel like. If you feel like, take it. I don't mind it. Okay? And she asked her to take anything of her choice. Whatever you feel like, you take it. Right? Though she was rich, she did not flaunt her wealth. Flaunt means to show off. You are rich, you show off, you flaunt. But she did not do anything like that. However, this clear-hearted person could be blunt. Blunt means saying calling a spade is called being blunt. So she was very, straightforward also. If she took undue liberty, she would definitely tell. And that is why she coldly tells Matilda that she could have taken care to return her necklace in time. When she asked for time, no, for 1 week or so, then what she says is, you should have taken care. You should have returned in time. Later, when she meets Matilda in the park, there she shows that she is well-mannered person, because she did not recognize Matilda. She thought she is some plain good wife. Okay, and still she is addressing her very politely to a stranger. So this tender-hearted person, this kind-hearted person is deeply moved on realizing that she was directly responsible for her friend's plight. She was suffering, right? Feeling genuinely bad for her friend. Okay, she felt very bad for her. Oh, my friend, because of you, she instantly tells the truth. She could have hidden also, because she has got a very costly 36,000 francs she has got a necklace. She could have said, no, no, mine was very costly, it could have been 40,000 or something. She could have said, but she is very, very clear. So she says the real worth of the necklace, it was just under 500 francs. So this proves that she was a true friend and a very nice human being. Question answers. The question answers are, what kind of a person is Madame Loisel? Why is she always unhappy? We've gone through that. What kind of person is her husband? We have seen that in the sketch. What fresh problem now disturbs Madame Loisel? She has the dress, but she doesn't have jewelry. How is the problem solved? Husband suggests, approach Madame Forestier. What do Monsieur and Madame Loisel do next? Then they do everything to track when it is lost. And how do they replace it? They borrow